Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with another new makeup release talk. I am so excited for this one because there is so many stuff that I haven't mentioned or talked about in my last video. And honestly, I think that was a while since I filmed that one. I just uploaded kind of late. But I'm gonna try to have this one kind of uploaded a little bit more on time. So I think I had like 3 weeks of like new releases that I haven't had the chance to talk about. So I'm gonna go quickly through these releases so I can talk about them. That way I can fit in more of these inside this one particular video. And I'm just gonna get started. Y'all know I'm a palette hoarder, so that is the #1 thing that I get excited about is palettes. So starting to release those summer palettes, and I'm just so excited for these brands. So let's just jump right into this video. I am going to move over to the side. Bouncy bouncy. I'm gonna move over to the side, and then I'm gonna project the pictures on the side of the screen. Jump right into this. So the first thing I'm excited about that I want to talk about that I do actually have right now, but I don't have it with me. Where is it? I don't feel like grabbing it. I'm being so lazy with my pregnancy. But I got this palette. I will probably eventually, I don't know when, but I will do a look using this soon. But this is the JUVIA's newest collection. This is called the Gardens of Juvia. So of course it comes with the palette. It comes with eyeliners and lip glosses. But of course, like I said, the one thing that I get excited with any new makeup releases is the actual palette. So when I seen this palette, I was like, this is definitely different for Juvia. I've never seen them throw anything out there like this. You got your pretty pastels, and the picture, I feel like it makes the eyeshadows look a little bit more deeper than what it is in person. The metallics in person are just so freaking beautiful. My only downfall on my debate on getting this palette, when I seen it in person, I really was like almost not about to get it, but I'm at the point to where I am definitely a Juvia fan, and I feel like I have about a good 80% of all their palettes. So I'm kind of like a collector when it comes to their new releases, and I didn't want to pass this one up, so I was like, all right, let me get it. But my only thing about this palette that I felt for my complexion is that there is not deep shades in here whatsoever. Even the mattes, the mattes are very pastel. So for me, if I was to use this palette, I think it would be not my favorite. Like, I feel like I would definitely have to grab another eyeshadow or another palette to make this somewhat work. I just felt like the eyeshadows were definitely too light in this palette. But like I said, I still bought it, and the metallics are just on a whole nother level of just like beautiful. So I cannot wait to come to you guys and do a look using this palette. But yeah, your girl already picked this up, and it's cute. My only critique about the eyeliners too, I seen them in person, I don't like the little brush that they decided to use. It's more like a silicones type of brush, so it's not like a flowy one. I think I still might end up buying like 1 or 2 just to try it out, but I just did a little tester swatch on the back of my hand, and I just felt like the eyeliner brush was a little bit too stiff. But I do like the colors that Juvia did decide to bring out with the eyeliners, and y'all know me, I'm very adventurous when it comes to my makeup, so I think I might go back and at least get at least one of them. And as for the lip glosses, I didn't even see them, so on to the next. So I've never heard of this brand, but this is called the KLARITY Cosmetic. I think I'm definitely glitching the name, and my bad if I am, but I forgot who posted this palette picture, and I seen this and I went to their Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really like this palette. I like the fact that there's not a lot of eyeshadows in here. I've been into these style of palettes when it's just a minimum of eyeshadows in there. But y'all see this color story? Do y'all see those metallic shades? Like, this is a very different, unique color story, and I've never heard of this brand. Definitely want to try this brand out just off of this palette alone. So I will definitely have more information about this palette, and if I can find the link correctly, I will link that down at the bottom so you guys can check it out as well. But I am so excited for this palette. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I fell in love. Like, do y'all see the purples? Just really quick, the purples and that little green color, just absolutely beautiful. And of course, I know I'm kind of late bringing this up, but we're gonna talk about her anyway. This is the new PAHT 2 palette by GLAMLITE, and of course Miss Michaela. I definitely put my order in when this definitely dropped it. The only thing I was kind of disappointed about is that it comes with 2 palettes, and of course numerous of other things in this collection, the highlighters, the glosses, the lashes. I just only stuck to the palette because when her first collaboration dropped, I did get everything in that collection, and I'm not disappointed with anything that came from that collection, but I just felt like there's a few similarities from the first one that I felt like I did not need again. And I was speaking about the lipsticks, lip glosses, and the lashes. I was like, okay, I don't need those at all. And the highlighters, I'm not really a big, well, I'm a big highlighter, as you can see. I can't deny that. But as for buying new highlighters, like, I can't tell you the last time I actually purchased a new highlighter. Like, no. So I wanted to get both palettes, but of course the mini one was definitely sold out, and I don't even know if it's restocked. I haven't even checked on the website. I just been waiting patiently for my palette to come. I think it's been about a good, what, 3 weeks so far since the release. Still nothing, no updates, so I don't know when I will get this palette. Probably sometime in September, August, I don't know. But I did get my hands on this, and I am excited for this story. I do like it, and I like GLAMLITE's formula, so I'm excited to try out this palette. And I've been seeing reviews, and I think it's definitely better than the original part 1 palette that she did come out with. So I'm super excited. I just can't wait to try it out. So Makeup by Yolanda has dropped 2 makeup palettes. So the first one I want to talk about is this neutral one. Y'all know I love me some neutral shades as well. Believe it or not, I do like neutral shades, and I really like her formula. So when she drops anything from her line, I get really excited. Y'all know I'm a fan of her palettes, her formulas. So when I seen this one, I was like, oh my gosh, this one's kind of old. I just discovered this one when I seen the original one, but I want to speak about this one because she hasn't released it yet, and it's been about a month since she gave a little sneak peek of this, and I cannot wait for her to drop this because I really want this palette. I feel like this would be like your everyday makeup artist type of like palette because it has all these beautiful neutral shades in here. So I definitely cannot wait to get my hands on that one. And then she gave us a little sneaky peek of this one, and I was like, I need that. I'm not even like a really big fan of when it comes to like big palettes, but I definitely feel like I need this one because of the color story. So it is a little bit of pastels in there. There's some beautiful metallic shades in here. I just see so much like inspiration already screaming and jumping at me that I definitely want to try out. And I like when palettes are just thrown together like this. Like it's not really like a little theme or whatever. It's just thrown with just like different random colors and formulas, because I feel like I get more inspired with palettes like this for me. And I'm just excited. So I cannot wait to get my hands on this palette whenever she releases one of these palettes. There's still no release date on neither one of these, and they're not on her website, but I just had to give you guys a little sneak peek as well so y'all can help me stay on track. So when she releases these and I'm not aware of them, tag me and let me know when she dropped these, because I definitely want to get my hands on both of them. So my new favorite brand came out with a new palette. This is by KOSMETICS. I have been really a huge fan of theirs because I'm in love with their Surge palette. So now they have came out with this one. And why can I not find the name of this one? This is called the, okay, so my screenshot of that. I have a whole bunch of screenshots, so I'm not on the actual website. So the way I screenshotted this palette, I don't even know the name of it, but I'll insert it somewhere on the screen. My bad. I do apologize for that. But I heard a lot of people going back and forth saying, oh, this looks very similar to the other palettes, blah, 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 blah. And I get that. I get, because she's known for colorful palettes, and I think that's just her forte. But I still feel like from the palette that I have, the Surge one, I don't feel like it's any comparison. Like both of them have colorful eyeshadows, but if I'm looking at it and I want to compare it to that one, I feel like Surge has a little bit more neon and pastel shades, and then this palette in particular has more of the deeper, dark, richer shades. So I'm still interested in it, and I feel like I'm definitely going to get my hands on it when I put my order in, because it's already released. I just haven't ordered it yet, but I'm definitely going to get this palette because I like it. And I do like those two big eyeshadows at the bottom, that white and black. And I think that's so important when it comes to like a rainbow colorful palette. People think just, oh, you can only do like your rainbow shades and that's it. No, I love it when they add the black, the brown, and the white into a rainbow colorful palette, because I feel like you can do a little bit more when it comes to makeup looks using palettes when they have these kind of color stories combined with the color. So that's just my preference, but I definitely feel like I am going to get this palette. So NOMAD has came out with another palette. I feel like I've been slipping on their palettes. Like, I really like this brand as well. Their formulas is so beautiful. Price point is, it's cool. It's not expensive. It's cool. It's decent. But I really like their color stories because I feel like the color stories are different, and I love their packaging as well. So this one in particular, I love the purples and a little splash of pinks and then the blue things. I just really like it. And again, it's not that big of a palette, so there is a minimum of eyeshadows in here, and I just love the picture that I see so far. I am definitely going to get this palette as well. I just feel like this has just been a hot purchase of releases for me. So and I've been trying to be patient and wait for like sales and stuff, because there's so many palettes and stuff that I want from all these new releases. Like, they know the holidays are coming, so they're giving us a little sneak peek of what's about to happen, and it's just going to get even more worse and more exciting. So I just been waiting patiently for these sales. So like Black Friday, if I ain't got none of these palettes by then, Black Friday is the time to save up, get your coins ready, and then catch these sales when they are available. This is a good time to get palettes if you have numerous palettes that you want to get, like me. Alright, so here is another brand that I'm not really familiar with, but this is called Give Me Glow, I think it's the brand. So they have came out with two palettes. They have this beautiful like summery like green and blue palette, and then they have this other palette that I just absolutely love. The color story with the yellows, and it's like a little bit of pinks and yellow, orange. You guys see the picture. I want both of them. I really do. I've never tried anything from this brand, and I like the fact that these eyeshadows are extremely big. I don't know the price point exactly when it comes to these palettes. I'm gonna assume they're between like 45 to 60 bucks when it comes to these palettes. If not, if they're cheaper, then I'm super more excited for it. But I want my hands on both these. If you guys have tried anything from this brand, let me know how y'all feel about the formulas. I've seen a couple of tutorials of people using this brand, and I'm not disappointed in the formulas whatsoever. So I think this is going to be another purchase for me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be broke. So Too Faced have definitely came out with a new palette. What is the name of this one? I didn't even think this was new, because I was like, oh, they, you know, I seen the post on I think Instagram. I seen it was the original post, and it was a video, and I just thought it was just a regular Too Faced old palette. So I scrolled past it, and then Trend Mode posted it, and I was like, oh, this is a new palette. Oh, it looks very so much familiar to the other palettes that Too Faced keep coming out with. So nothing is screaming buy me from this palette. This is a neutral palette with a splash of like one particular blue color and one pretty like metallic pastel color. That's the only color I think is very pretty in this palette, is that pretty pastel color that's right in the center. Other than that, I feel like I don't want to knock it, because I do like Too Faced formulas when it comes to their palettes, but I just feel like they need a little help when it comes to the color story. It's like, how many chocolate bar palettes are you guys going to create without them looking so much the same? Like, I've never seen a colorful chocolate bar palette. Like, why not make a colorful one? Add some yellow, add some pinks, some purples, you know, make it a colorful one. I think that would really surprise and throw people off, and there'll be something different for Too Faced. But I just feel like they just keep doing the same color story, and I guess it's worked for them because people are buying it. I think I only have one chocolate bar palette, and the rest of them I was like, okay, they're starting to look the same. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not going to get this because then I see it in person. I'm like, well, I had to get it because of blah blah blah. So I don't know. As of for now, I'm not excited. Like, this will be definitely a palette that I will wait for it to go on sale This is a maybe for me, most likely probably a purchase. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about that one. This should have been the first thing I mentioned, but I totally got excited and sidetracked it. But this is the new palette. This is not even like a new palette. This is the new game changer, is what I said when I posted this. This is the new little game palette by Ace Beauty. And I feel like what they're trying to do with this is definitely a game changer. Like, I know you guys seen this trend, like, it's been going on for a while, when they do like color bingo. I think, is that how it was? You count how many shades that's in that particular palette. You put all those numbers balled up in like a piece of cup, whatever. You pull out those numbers, and then you work with those particular eyeshadows that comes up with that number. Did I explain that right? I don't know. Okay, anywho, I feel like this is the same thing as the color palette bingo that was created here on YouTube and stuff like that. And she just made it smart and marketed and made a game out of it. And I feel like this is definitely a game changer. So besides it being like a freaking game, I love the color story in this palette. I love her eyeshadows. I love her formula. So I'm excited to get my hands on this, most definitely, because I want to see what is the odds of what eyeshadows I'm going to get and how it's going to tell me how to place them here. I've seen some people do reviews and stuff on the palette, and with them having to create a look with the shades that was chosen from the game, some of the looks a little not so cute. But the fact that I think she's trying to do, she's trying to put fun back into makeup, and I definitely get that. I get those little, you know, 90s vibes, you know, Saved by the Bell kind of vibes when I see this palette. So I'm excited to try it. You can play it with your friends, or you can play it by yourself. I really think this is a smart move, and I'm really excited to try it. So I am going to get this palette soon. So Beauty Bay has came out with a new palette, and it's called New Mood. I'm not really excited about this color story because I feel like it's a lot of deep shades, and I'm a neutral girl, but not these kind of neutral. Like, there's a lot of blacks, a lot of reds, and like dark colors. That's definitely not grabbing my attention, because I feel like the outside of the package is definitely throwing you off. Like, when you see the outside, you think it's going to be a very colorful, bright, neon style of palette, but then when you open it up, you get that. Like, and I'm really surprised that Beauty Bay has did this. Like, I'm really a fan of their packaging and their palettes and stuff, especially their formulas, but I'm just not here for this palette. I don't know. Yeah, see the brown and that yellow and that, it's the way these eyeshadows are also placed is kind of like throwing me off. So I don't see myself getting this palette because of the color story. It's just too deep and too dark for me, and I tried to add a little splash color, but it just wasn't working for me. So I think this is definitely going to be a pass for me for Beauty Bay, and I'm really surprised because it looks like it could be a good palette, but I don't think so. So Colourpop has came out with the Queen Bee collection. I kept seeing this palette and I was like, who is this? I never paid attention to who it was, but this is by Colourpop. Okay, so I believe this is a 6-pen eyeshadow palette. I think it's okay. I think it's cool. I think it's okay. The color story definitely does not speak to me. I love where they were trying to go with this collection. The packaging and everything is absolutely beautiful. But as for me putting creativity and putting use in these palettes and everything else in this collection, I think this is going to be a very much so hard pass for me. Which is unfortunate because I haven't tried anything from Colourpop and I've been wanting to so bad. But this palette does not scream, hey, try me out for the first time. I will say this is definitely going to be a pass for me. And now it's time for the Colourpop releases. So first of all, this has been released for a while now, but this is the Opal of My Eye collection. I think the color story is definitely cute. All these pastels, I definitely feel like it's a new summer theme. So I love it, but I just didn't like the fact that there's so many metallics in here. And going off the picture, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 mattes in here. But I love what they were trying to do. It just, I don't think it's for me. But I did buy one thing from this collection, and it was the lip gloss. And I think this is the most beautiful lip gloss ever. It has a little bit of like glitters in it, and you can definitely see, especially if you do like low lighting videos like I do, and you can really see the glitters and the sparkles on the lips. And I feel like you can just pretty much top this with anything. So If you're not interested in the palette, I will say they got some really beautiful glosses that came out with this collection. But as for the palettes, I think this is definitely going to be a hard no for me because it's just too light, too many metallic, and just I don't feel like it would work against my complexion. And since we're talking about Colourpop, let's talk about Colourpop again because they come out with a new release every week. And being that I'm playing catch up, it's time for me to talk about this one as well. I liked the palette. I liked the collection. I don't even know who this is supposed to be combined with. I guess she's supposed to be a famous either YouTuber or TikToker, something in that era. But the palette, I get where she was trying to go with this. I get a lot of like retro vibes, like the Marilyn Monroe vibes and stuff when it comes to this collection. So the shades are very soft and pretty. I just don't think personally this is something for me, but I do like the palette and the lipsticks that's coming with this collection. I get what she was trying to do, like a little beautiful, like Hollywood inspired type of collection, because I did Google the girl and it definitely fits her, you know, her personality and stuff like that. But as for me like buying this palette, I think this is going to be a no for me. Yeah, I just don't. I do like that pink roll though, like that pink peach and all that. The bottom row is really pretty, but the top is like really throwing me off, and I give them credit for trying to do something different. So it's just not personally for me. I just don't see myself buying this. Alright, and Colourpop has one more release to talk about. So this one is the Clay It Cool collection. I absolutely love everything about this collection, and usually I don't like everything Colourpop comes out when it comes to the collection overall in a whole, but I love everything. I like this palette. It's definitely, it's saying purchase me, NESHA, please. But I like the fact that they're coming out with Super Shock bronzers now, and I like the shade ranges that they're showing, so there is hope for your girl. So I'm excited to try that out. And as for the lip cream, I do like the lip cream lipsticks. Are creamy. I probably won't buy anything for lipstick wise, and I probably won't buy this highlighter, but it is a pretty shade. But as for the palette and trying out one of the Super Shock bronzers, I am definitely here for this. I'm excited. If it wasn't for them having these two deep browns in this palette, I think it totally would have been a throwaway palette because there would have been no help for me at all for my complexion. But because they did that, I think I'm interested in it now. Natasha Denona palette. I don't want to say I'm not a fan of her because I've never personally tried any of her palettes. I did get sent 3 of her palettes so far from like my BoxyCharm boxes and Ipsy boxes from the past, but I still personally never tried her eyeshadow formulas, which is crazy. I'm like, you have 3 palettes but you never tried it. I don't know, I just don't get excitement when I see her palettes, and I think the first thing when I think about is when I see her palettes is the price point. And I think that definitely like turns me off. I mean, like, I know a lot of people are a big fan of her eyeshadows and stuff like that, but as for me, I don't know, it just doesn't scream excitement. And then for one, this palette right here, it says the bronze palette, and going off of this picture, it might be different if I see it in person, but there's not a lot of deep shades when it comes to those matte browns. So I don't see myself being able to do much with that. If it was a little bit more richer or deeper, I think I would have been more excited for this because, like I said, I do like a good neutral palette, believe it or not. Yes, this colorful girl do like a good neutral palette, but I just feel like, well, yeah, she definitely could have did a little bit better when it came to this. I don't know, it's just my personal opinion, my preference, blah 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 blah. But I think that's all that I really want to talk about. I'm gonna slide back over. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I want to talk about. Like I said, my focus today was just really the palette. I feel like everything else was just not my excitement, like lipsticks and foundations. Like usually when I don't have enough palettes conversation to talk about, then I'll add those other like new releases talk. But I feel like it was a lot of palette drops, and I feel like I'm going to be buying a lot of stuff. So I'm really excited for the releases so far that I mentioned in this video. Like, I'm really excited. Got to get my coins ready because there's a lot of palettes to be buying. A lot of palettes. So definitely let me know, what you guys are excited about? Is there anything in this video that I mentioned that you guys are interested in buying? And I would definitely like to know what is on your wish list, because If y'all got something that I mentioned y'all think I should not get it, let me know, because I'm so quick to buy something before even looking at the reviews, because I like to, how can I say this? Because I feel like I'm gonna sound bad saying this out loud when I do videos and I do reviews on it, but I like to try things out myself. But yes, let me know what you guys have on your wish list. What are you so excited to purchase? And I know I probably forgot a lot of things to talk about, especially the time frame of when I'm recording this and when you guys will see this. I'm pretty sure there will be more new releases to talk about, so don't worry, I will come back and talk more about those. But my focus point was just really about palettes today, because that's what I get more excited about. So I just felt like this was more my forte when it comes to me talking about palettes, and I hope you guys don't mind that. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoy. You guys have a beautiful day. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay amazing. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.